Hello everybody, welcome back to Problox, and today I am going to be unscripted, just predicting games for week 12 of the 2025-2026 season. Now, the first game was already played, and it was Buffalo at Houston, and the Texans really cooked here. The Texans got the Bills. They caught them just not playing good. The Bills have only lost to bad teams as far as I'm aware. They're 7-4. They have only lost to the Patriots, which is not a bad team. So they lost to the Patriots, the Falcons, the Dolphins, and the Texans. That's really odd. They've lost to a lot of bad teams, but they beat really most all of the good ones. But their offense is quite inconsistent, and Josh Allen threw 2 picks this game. So the Texans, with the number 1 defense in the NFL, took that. Like they just ran all over the Bills, really. The first game that hasn't been played that we're gonna do is Steelers at the Bears, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are not a bad team. Nothing against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I just think the Bears are a better team. They're more consistent. They've beat a lot of teams. They're the best team in the NFC North, which is quite odd, to be honest. But they're just a better team, and I don't trust the Steelers with their inconsistent offense, even coming off of a great win. I take Chicago here, winning 27-21. The next game is the Patriots and the Bengals. The New England Patriots are on a roll. This team is looking great. They're feeling great. They're the first in their division. Their draft picks are going good. TreVeyon Henderson is going crazy. And, I mean, honestly, they just won all the games. Like, they honestly probably should be undefeated. Like, they lost to the Steelers they lost to the Steelers and the Raiders. They honestly, if they just played decent for those 2 games, they should really be undefeated. And this team is just so good, honestly. Like, they just look like monsters right now. So I think they go out and kill the Bengals. I think it's going to be 34-14, since the Bengals kind of suck. It's Giants, it's Lions. It's hard to predict. This one is not easy. The Giants are 2-9. But they're a really good 2-9 team, if I'm going to be honest. They're a great 2-9 team. I mean, they've lost a lot of games, but they've also had a lot of injuries, and they've beat the Eagles and the Chargers. It's just confusing how a team can beat the Eagles and the Chargers and then lose, like, every other game. They're super inconsistent. But honestly, I like this team. They have such a high ceiling with Jackson Dart and, well, Cam Skattebo was pretty good when he was not hurt. And Malik Neighbors also is hurt. So, I mean, this team really, if Cam Skattebo wasn't hurt right now, Malik Neighbors wasn't hurt right now, honestly, I think this team has 4 or 5 wins, just to be honest. And Jackson Dart is not playing against the Lions. If he was playing, I might call this a win for the Giants. But with Jackson Dart and just all of their key offensive pieces not playing, the Lions can handle it. I just think they're going to win with all those missing pieces. Now we got a divisional matchup. We got the Minnesota Vikings at Green Bay. The Vikings 4-6. They're the worst in the division. But I mean, honestly, they beat the Detroit Lions not that long ago, but they really aren't looking too good. They're just not that consistent. They're not that good just in general. JJ McCarthy, I just don't like it, I don't like him right now. Jordan Mason is not a great running back. And Justin Jefferson, he's doing pretty good. But they're just not a very good team. Their passing yards, 23rd in the league. Rushing yards, 25th. Their offense is terrible. Points for, 22nd. And points against, tied for 16th. There's just not a very good team, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people would agree with that one. As I'm taking the Green Bay Packers, even though they have a couple of funny weeks time and time again. Oops, oh gosh. They have a couple of funny weeks time and time again. But, I think it's going to be pretty easy for them to get a win here. They did lose 2 games in a row, but then they are coming off a win. I don't think it's going to be that much of a challenge for this team. I think they're a good team. Jordan Love is putting up great stats at QB. Josh Jacobs is looking good. Their leading receiver, Romeo Doubs. Josh Jacobs looking great. 11 touchdowns, that's pretty good. All of their stats are pretty good. I just think they're second in their division to only the Bears. Now, if the Bears somehow lose this week, which is against my prediction, and the Packers win, I believe that they are number 1 in that division. Because I think they haven't even played the Bears yet, but I think they probably have the tiebreaker. Anyways, I'm definitely taking the Packers here easily. It's just not that hard of a pick for me. I just think they're a better team. Seahawks and Titans. This is, again, another easy game to predict, as the Tennessee Titans, I believe, are the worst team in the NFL. They're 1-9. Their only win was that really interesting game against the Cardinals, where they won by 1 point. But the rest of their wins weren't, the rest of their losses, yeah, it wasn't pretty. This team looks like trash, honestly. Cam Ward has a good amount of yards, but besides that, he's not that good. His QBR is 24. Tony Pollard isn't doing so hot. Not that bad, but 2 touchdowns also is bad. And their leading receiver is their tight end, Chigoziem Okonkwo, I believe is how you pronounce it. He has no touchdowns and 337 yards. They are 30th in passing stats, 30th in passing yards, last in the league in rushing yards, last in the league for points for, and third to last in the league for points against. They're not good. They're really not good. I just think that it is going to be an easy game for the Seahawks to win, especially with their explosive offense recently, with JSN leading the way, and with Sam Darnold and JSN leading the way. This team likes to put up a lot of points. Even though they're coming off a loss, they're also coming off 2 games where they put up 38 points or more. So I think the Seahawks destroy this team. I think it is going to be 38 Seahawks. And I believe that the Titans are putting up 3. Colts Chiefs. We got the Colts and the Chiefs. I said that one. And the Colts were a couple of weeks ago to be said to be the best team in the NFL. I say they're second or third now, but they are still a great team. They're doing pretty darn good. I'm just gonna say they're coming off a big win against the Falcons. They had a bye. They are coming off a bye, but their last game played was a win against the Falcons. They've lost 2 games by the exact same score, which is odd. But Daniel Jones, monstrous season. I mean, okay, monstrous a little weird. He's doing pretty good. He's doing great. Jonathan Taylor, insane season. He has 15 touchdowns. He's the same amount of touchdowns as Daniel Jones. That is ridiculous. And Tyler Warren's leading the team in receiving yards, which is just, this team is so good. 3rd in passing yards, 3rd in rushing yards. How are they 3rd in rushing yards? 1st for points, 4 and 9th for points against. Their defense wasn't that good, but this team, I think against the Chiefs, who are just struggling, even though they're my team, they're 5-5. They're not the most consistent team ever. But honestly, I just don't see them winning. I just think we're so inconsistent. We lose too many games that we should win. I just don't like our odds. Mahomes looking great. Kareem Hunt not looking good on yards, but looking great on touchdowns. Travis Kelce not looking bad for receptions, for receiving yards. But, I mean, statistically, we're not that bad. Our rushing yards per game are not good. But we don't have good running backs. We're middle of the pack for rushing yards. Passing yards are great. Points for are pretty good. And points against are great. We're just losing too many games. I don't know why. I think it's the lack of the run game. We need a running back, and we're not going to get one. So that's unfortunate. So I'm taking the Colts here, sadly, 24-17. All right, we're around halfway through. We got the New York Jets versus the Ravens. The New York Jets are not hot. They're just not. They're not looking very good. Playing the Ravens. The Ravens are such a good team, and the Jets are basically the polar opposite, sitting at whopping 2-8. They're 2-1 in their last 3 games. I don't think it really matters, to be honest, though, because even though the Ravens are 5-5, they are super hot. They won 4 in a row, and since Lamar's back, obviously that's why. They're looking really good, honestly, right now. Lamar's still putting up a pretty good season, considering he's been injured for 3 weeks, 4 even, maybe? Like, he's looking pretty good. So they've been winning a lot of games. They're convincingly winning these games, and I think they're going to convincingly beat the Jets 35-17. Now, Browns-Raiders. If you are unlucky enough to have to watch this game, I feel bad for you, but I am still going to predict it. Browns are 2-8. They beat the Packers and the Dolphins. They're not that great. If I'm just going to be honest, their draft picks are going pretty well. Mason Graham's been doing good. Carson Schwarzenegger's doing good. Quinshon Judkins. But it's not a whole team overview. Are they going to win this game? Absolutely not. I just don't think so. It's not like it's a crazy uneven matchup. I just don't think the Browns are winning. They just don't win games. I don't expect them to win games. Dylan Gabriel has 937 passing yards in Week 12. That's not good. That's really bad. This team's not very. This team's not very good. I'm gonna be honest. And the Raiders, I'm not saying the Raiders are good. They have the exact same record, but the Raiders are a lot better than you think. Honestly, Geno Smith, not the best season. I'm going to be honest. Trey Tucker's having a great season. Ashton Jeanty is also having a pretty good season. I just like this team way, way more than I like the Browns. So I'm taking the Raiders in a sloppy game. 13-6, Raiders. Jacksonville Jaguars, Arizona Cardinals. We got the Jags, we got the Cardinals. Not bad at all. I like the Jags. They're 6-4, coming off a big upset against the Chargers, but they are also vastly inconsistent, which is, again, like you can't have it. You cannot be inconsistent. It's never good. Trevor Lawrence isn't looking bad. Rushing yards, Travis Etienne has a lot of rushing yards. Brian Thomas, somehow the leading receiver, where he only has 1 touchdown. Their stats are just not the best, honestly. Just as a team, they're not that good. They're 6-4 though, so better than my team. I really can't even be talking. But against the Cardinals are also one of the most inconsistent teams in the Evers, because their first 2 games were a win, and then they did recently beat the Cowboys. Not recent enough. But in their last 2 games, let's just say they allowed more than 40 points. Their last 2 games, they have allowed a combined 85 points. I don't think that's something you want. I'm just going to be honest. I think that's really bad. Jacoby Brissett is looking good. Jacoby Brissett is balling out. 10 touchdowns, 1,500 yards. He hasn't played that many weeks. Emery Demercado, their rushing game is trash. 241 and 0 touchdowns. Their rushing yards are 24th in the league, which I guess it could be worse. But by how much? Trey McBride is looking super good, though. They've got a good tight end for like 5 years. Probably maybe even 6. But this team isn't winning. Their defensive show in the last 2 games have been suboptimal. That's a way to describe it. I just think that the Jacksonville Jaguars are gonna score a lot of points. I think the score for this game, 38 Jaguars, and the Cardinals are going to put up 17. Eagles versus the Cowboys. This is a great divisional matchup, a rivalry. The Eagles are 8-2. They're looking good. Their only 2 losses are strung together and just kind of odd occurrences. Coming off 2 questionable wins, but the Cowboys are a questionable team, so I think that they're going to get another win this game. Now, I'm not predicting many upsets so far, but I'm just saying this Cowboys team is 4-5-1. They're coming off a big win against the Vegas Raiders. But honestly, Raiders aren't quite good. The Raiders, they're just not a very good team. Just going to be honest. So, this team with Dak leading the way, 21 touchdowns is super good. He's looking great. Javonte, 809 yards and 8 touchdowns. George Pickens almost at 1,000 yards with 7 touchdowns. Now, you'd think this team's offense would be fire. They have the most passing yards per game in the NFL. Second best points for. Their points against is 0.3 points below their points for. The points against and points for, if you take away the decimals, are the exact same. Not good. Not good at all. You don't want it. You don't want to see it. The rushing yards aren't that good, but I still don't hate this team. I still don't like this team. I don't know what to say. I don't think this team can do it this game. I think it's gonna be a shootout of a game, in my opinion. These are two great offenses heading head to head, going head to head. And I mean, if we look at the Eagles, Jalen Hurts has got a lot of passing yards. Saquon Barkley's not doing bad, and Devonta Smith isn't either. Actually, this offense hasn't been the best recently, but they're still a great offensive team, and I think they'll provide a shootout if needed. I think the score of this game is going to be 44-42 Philadelphia. 3 games left, and this one is going to be the Falcons at the Saints. Not the best game to watch, but it's a divisional one, so you might as well just check it out. This Falcons team, this Falcons team, that's for sure. Bijan Robinson, great year. Drake London, great year. Everybody else has not been having a great year. Even their preseason sucked. This team isn't just that, it's just not that good. They're coming off of a 5-game losing streak, which is suboptimal. I'd say that's below average. But yeah, I just don't like this team. But you know who else I don't like? The New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints are 2-8, same record as the Jets. They've just been so hard to watch that nobody even cares about them. Their 2 wins, they're coming off a win. Their other win was against the Giants, 26-14. They actually, I believe, are coming off a bye week. But they beat the Panthers 17-7. They're last in their division, and really, they're terrible. Nothing against this team. I just think they might be the worst team in the NFL. Most of their players are old, and unlike the Titans, who only have 1 win, they really don't have any upside. Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough are not going to get that much better. I think Cam Ward has a chance to get a lot better. I just don't see upside in the New Orleans Saints team, and I honestly think they're the worst team in the NFL. I think the Falcons kill them. I think it's going, well, okay, that's a strong word. I think it's not going to be very close. I think it's going to be 27 Atlanta, 13 New Orleans. All right, second to last game. This is a good one. Sunday Night Football. We got Tampa Bay Bucks, who are first in their division. They're 6-4, taking names. They're looking good. They are coming off of 2 losses, which isn't good. Both of those teams were good. Honestly, none of their wins have came from. They haven't really beat any good teams. As I'm looking at the schedule, the only good teams I can say they beat would be honestly just the Seahawks. I don't think the 49ers are that good of a team. I just think this team has lost against the Eagles, Lions, Bills, and the Patriots. All of those teams are good. All of those teams are making the playoffs. This team will make the playoffs. They're winning their division. They're probably going to stay winning their division. But they're kind of, when you look at their schedule like this, it definitely starts to make you question some things about them. And I do like the Buccaneers. They're fun to watch. I have Emeka Egbuka in fantasy, so I like them. But the Rams, the difference for the Rams is that they do beat good teams. They lost to the Eagles, but, you know, whoop-de-doo, I guess. That was just a lucky block for a touchdown. Honestly, they probably, without that stupid block, they probably could be 9-1. They are such a strong team. They beat good teams. I mean, they also lost against the 49ers, but again, another whoop-de-doo. They're very consistent. They just win a lot. And that's what I like about them. They're a good team. They play good football. They're in a pretty good division. I just see that they're more consistent, beat more good teams, and I see them beating the Buccaneers in a close one, in a good one, but a convincing one. It is going to be 24-17 Rams. Sorry, 27-17 Rams. Last game, Monday Night Football. We have the Panthers and the Niners. Not the best primetime game you'll ever see. The Panthers, they're a really good bad team. They're not that good. They lost to the Cardinals, the Jags, the Patriots, which is fair, the Bills, which is also fair, and the Saints. Honestly, I don't think they should be losing to the Jaguars. Maybe the Jaguars. I don't think they should be losing to the Cardinals or New Orleans Saints. I think they should be 8-3. Honestly. I think they should be 8-3. And that's just, I mean, they haven't had their bye week. But they're a decent team, honestly. They're super inconsistent, but if you look at their stats on paper, they're not that bad. Passing yards and points forward don't look that good, but it doesn't feel that bad. They're not, when you're watching this team, you don't feel like they have bottom 25 passing yards and points for. But I still do not like them winning this game. I can talk about how they're a pretty good team and they've upset some good teams. I don't think it's happening against the Niners. They're 7-4. They're not a bad team. They're also pretty inconsistent. I just think their offense is too good. This team is too good. Mac Jones is playing too good for them to lose. When Christian McCaffrey is leading you in rushing and receiving yards, you know you're getting carried, but you also know you're winning a lot of games. This is ridiculous. This stat is hilarious. Like, that's honestly funny. This team is quite good. I like the Niners, but I also don't like the Niners. I think the Niners still can pretty easily win this one. They're not going to make it flashy. They're just going to take their win. They're going to take it nice. It's going to be 28, San Francisco, 13, Carolina. That's all I have for you today. Have a great day. Have a good day watching football tomorrow. And I'll see you next time on Gridiron Goobers.